Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Board YouTube channel for your Monday pick and roll live stream here. Brand new month, December 2nd. Let's try to start the month off on the right foot here with myself, Jacob, my co-host from Croatia, PipsNBA. And we got a brand new week to get started. 4 games on the NBA slate today. Some bigger spreads, a lot of questionable players, but we're going to go through each of these games today, see what matchup Pips likes, see what Pips likes as far as bets are concerned for the games today. So if you're ready for today's show, make sure you do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel because we go live every weekday morning at 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, so long as there are NBA games to talk about, and there are NBA games to talk about today. So let's get things started. Also, send in your questions, send in your bet for the day, and we can react to them a little bit later on the stream. Let's say what's up to some of the people in the chat. Anthony Serbo here. We have Baja Boy here. We have D. Shifty, Bobby Turner as well. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate y'all for coming in nice and early. Let's jump into things today. We'll go one game here. We'll start off with the Miami Heat against the Boston Celtics because Miami coming off a loss to the Raptors. Boston continue to trudge along with the season. The spread here is 10, though. Miami in the second night of a back-to-back. Let's just jump into the first game here, Pips. Any thoughts on the game here? Big spread. Big spread.
Yeah, lots of questionable players, not on the Miami side, but on Boston. You have Drew Holiday, questionable, Brown, questionable, Derek White, questionable, and Horford and Kristaps Porzingis, doubtful. I do think Jaylen Brown and Derek White are playing. Tatum is playing. I don't know about Drew Holiday. I'm split 50-50. I'm like 95% sure Horford and Porzingis are not playing. So it's probably White, Tatum, and Brown, Pritchard against Miami Heat. Should still make sense to be a huge favorite.
Yeah. This team's just too good,
Especially
man.
after we saw Raptors destroying them last night. I mean, it ended up close, but wasn't close up until the late.
Always is with the Raptors. They find a way to make it tight late, whether they're
Yeah.
losing or winning.
I didn't watch much. I think I watched for like 6-7 minutes, and Scotty Barnes looks crazy. And it was huge. Jared Barrett game. I don't know how I didn't see much of him on the court when I was watching, but Barnes is like turning out to be a triple-double machine so far. Like massive usage on the ball, which is good reps for him to have for sure.
Yeah, he's been playing as the point guard lately, the starting point guard for the Raptors right now because Emmanuel Quickly's out and their backups are not good enough.
It's hurting maybe a bit
well.
his efficiency, but he's doing a lot of good stuff on the ball. So
yeah, because they're leaning into his pull-up threes because they just want to add that vertical spacing, even with him at point guard. And I mean, it's good reps for him. He's not super efficient, but he is hitting some. Like it's not like a complete waste for him to shoot. I think he shoots a little bit too much, but it did help us with our bet the other on Friday when he made his first 2 threes in the first quarter. So it was a nice and easy sweat-free win on that one. Regardless, back to the game here. Anything from a betting perspective you think come up with, or is the spread and the injuries a bit too much?
Only one player is up, and it's already moved
it's Tatum.
a lot. I actually, like, when I woke up, first bet was Jason Tatum under 30.5. I can see him at 28 already.
I bet that half an hour ago.
Yeah,
when it was 30.5.
Makes like I'm 90% positive that Jaylen Brown and White are back. Horford being out means nothing for Tatum usage. Porzingis means some, but Drew Holiday out, low usage player, and then they have more minutes to Pritchard, who is high usage, probably evens that out. So actually, on the usage part, nothing changed much. They will have Cornet probably or Queta on the court, which makes doubles on Tatum way easier. Like no shooting to punish. So I think Tatum at 30.5 without shooting big is actually, I would say it probably at 26.5. So I think when they rule out Jaylen Brown and Derek White, it will move to the 26.5 for sure.
Yeah. Well, if it's going to move to 26.5, would 28.5 still be a lean for you, would you say?
I mean, it's a lean, but you never know with these questionable stocks what's going to happen. But that's like I'm reading the who is playing or not, and make like 2 days ago. It was Cade came back and played against the Pacers,
Hmm.
and he had no injury tag for the back-to-back game. He was out for like 10 days and then came back, and then it was back-to-back, and he had no question tags. And I bet Jaden Ivey over 16.5. Kid was late scratch and didn't play. Ivy line was not then like a 20.5 or something. So sometimes you can read better than the books, those news, and bet on them.
If 29.5 is still available, which the chat is telling me in some
It's all
places it
in. It's
is.
all in for sure. It's all in for sure. I will
Okay.
make official bet because I always feel like when I get better number and then sharing it lower on the show, I don't like that. Like
Yeah.
probably some mental stuff. Maybe it's probably still got a great bet on 29.
Yeah. I mean, it's 28.5. Very low juice on FanDuel. Minus 102 under 20.5. So if you can
Yeah.
find 29.5 minus 105, minus 108, minus 110, probably going to get good CLV on that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that should definitely be a lean and one to consider there. But I wouldn't go over minus 110. Try to
Yeah.
get lower if you can. We'll interrupt here for a quick word from the presenting sponsor on the board YouTube channel, the FanDuel Sportsbook, because the offer is still available for you guys. You hear us talking about all the teams, all the games. We're talking about like role players on some random teams in the NBA because these things matter. And it matters as well to betting, and it's enjoyable to see the journey for all these players and to catch all the games in the NBA right now. You can go to the FanDuel Sportsbook with this amazing offer. FanDuel's giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do to catch the action from around the NBA is place any $5 bet on the NBA. That's it. Then, on top of this, for a limited time, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. So next time you get a hunch on who's going to win, how many points a player's going to score, or you just want to follow along the action around the league, then make sure you bet it on FanDuel and watch your picks come to life live with League Pass. So visit FanDuel.com/board to get 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. Must be 21 plus and present in select states for Kansas affiliation with Kansas Star Casino or 18 plus and present in DC. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issues non-withdrawable bonus bet which expires 7 days after receipt. After 3 months free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 pass per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelpline.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. We'll move down the board here into the second game on the slate. Another big spread here. We have the Pelicans away at the Atlanta Hawks. The Pelicans still losing games, but finally some players are starting to come back from injury, which is good to see. They did. Sorry, I've been saying that, but they still had a lot of guys out for yesterday's game as I checked the injury report. So, okay, second night back to back. I feel like some of these guys might play. Any thoughts from you on which Pelicans injuries or players who are injured we may see back tonight, Pips?
I expect Brandon Ingram and Jordan Hawkins to be
Okay. Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Trey Murphy is questionable with the rest tag. I don't think he is resting. They don't have any room for rest. Like if they lose next 3 to
You're
4
healthy.
games,
You got to play, man.
yeah. So no chance for a rest. I mean, he could be out, but I think 70-30 in favor of playing. Still Herb Jones out, coming back probably next game with questionable tag. That's how I see it.
Yep.
And Zion probably out for the rest of the year. I actually expect Zion to come back after the All-Star break or around that time, but probably, even though they have him for like next 4 weeks, but that always changed with Zion. Probably if they are like no chance of making playoffs after the All-Star break, they're probably shutting him down for the season. Won't be surprised with that. Makes no sense. So yeah, they need wins. DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Ingram, Trey Murphy, Missy, Hawkins can't compete. So yeah, I don't know, but they were disastrous last night. They scored 4 points in the first 10 minutes against the Knicks last night. 10
Yeah, I
minutes
did
into the
see.
game, they had 4 points. It's
Yeah,
just absolutely incredible because Knicks weren't even playing great defense.
yeah. The
So yeah,
Knicks won by
uh,
40, I think. Around 40, I think it was.
yeah.
Maybe even more. Yeah,
Uh,
it's
I
ugly.
think it was like 33 to
Also,
something.
oh, okay. And also, the Raptors beat them by like 30 points earlier in the week as well. Like they're just getting
So even though
absolutely
they have
dunked.
some players back there, still they played it better without them. So a bunch of non-winning players like DeJounte Murray
Oh, it's
and
33
Brandon
points yesterday,
Ingram
but
and
still.
yeah. DeJounte Murray, everyone knows that I don't like him as a player, but he is now playing back to the Atlanta, first time since the trade.
Hmm.
20 and a half line and on points. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. But maybe some rebounds and assists.
Okay.
11 and a half. I don't know if I'd want to make that as an official bet, but I'm looking into it. Maybe to make something like 4 plus, 6 plus. I'll just check the numbers.
So right now, DeJounte Murray, yeah, 11 and a half minus 120 here on FanDuel. If we were to build it out, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, or other way around?
Let me just check for something. Like maybe I do like big semi game parlay in
Okay.
this one.
Okay. Oh, I've 4 here.
Uh, just a
Okay.
second.
6 rebounds, 4 assists is plus 108. I'm going to do the inverse just to see. 6 assists, 4 rebounds is minus 116.
Hmm. Yeah, Dyson Daniel is also back first time. Maybe we see some more from him.
Some steals.
Yeah, I think he's still a bit down last couple of games, which is
Well,
expected. No one is
yes.
like
Yeah.
continuing
No, it was
with
averaging
this.
4 a game.
Yeah. So let me just see the John Murray 666. Uh, it's interesting because like, for the John Murray, if you take a look at his assists, the line is at
Pull it up for
5.5
us.
use and rebounds are at 5.5, but he's actually been rebounding better than he was assisting last couple of games.
Let's
So
see.
like he had 14
Let's
rebounding chances back-to-back games. So I do like a big Sergey parlay for this one.
Okay. Let's hear it.
DeJounte Murray 6 plus rebounds, 6 plus assists, 15 plus points.
All right. All
And
DeJounte.
all DeJounte plus, just a second, I'll look at something. Let's add. Interesting. Let's just see a second.
Here's
Uh,
our base. 6 6
he's
15.
our base, yeah. So let's do Jalen Johnson 15 plus points.
Okay. Now we're at 271.
And just a second. And
And
let's add Jalen Johnson 6 plus rebounds.
all right. And make sure you guys check if you have any boost tokens available. If you add on to this parlay, because usually you need 3 legs to get the boost. And there's more than 3 legs for this one for sure. 5-leg SGP here. DeJounte Murray, 6 plus assists, 6 plus rebounds, 15 plus points. And then Jalen Johnson, 15 plus points and 6 plus rebounds. We're at an even plus 300 odds for this play here. Yeah, why don't you take us through this one, Pips?
Yeah, the numbers for
Share your screen, though.
yeah, sorry for that. I mean,
No worries.
I am not betting into narrative. People probably think it's a narrative. It's a bit, but not much. First off, I'll go through the John Murray numbers. 3 games so far this season. One was against the Toronto Raptors, huge blowout. The Raptors didn't miss, but it was a minute restriction. If you exclude that game, he had first game of the season when he got injured. 8 rebounds, came back, blowout loss to the just a second to turn off the notification stuff. So blowout loss to the Raptors. I'll ignore that game. It's the first game back with huge minutes restriction. Next game, blowout loss to the Memphis. 6 rebounds on 14 rebounding chances. So that's huge numbers of rebounding chances. And then he had next game, Knicks, allowing the least rebounds in the league. He had 8 rebounds again on 14 rebounding chances, even though it was a blowout, complete blowout. So when teams are blowing you out, you don't have many rebounding chances as you will have if they are missing shots and it's a close game. And he still managed to get 14 rebounding chances. We remember the time when DeJounte played at Spurs and when he rebounded like crazy. Before the trade, he ended up season with 8.3 rebounds a game at the Spurs, and now he's playing against rebounding dominant big as the Pelicans are playing Missy at the 5. I mean, he's decent, but not like some crazy guy that takes every rebound. So on rebounds, I really love the spot because with guys playing out, he's their main guy to create and make guy and to rebound in these big minutes. Also, Pelican Hawks allow a lot of rebounds. Second part of this bet, his assist. Opening game of the season, 10 assists against the Bulls, 18 potential assists, 6 assists in a loss against the Memphis. Last game, 5 assists against the Knicks, but 5 assists in a game where they scored 4 points in the first 10 minutes. So huge underscoring game for the Pelicans, and he got to the 5. I expect a bit better tonight against a bit higher paced team and worse transition defense. DeJounte should have one more assist. And on the point side, usage is incredible. Against the Memphis, he shot 17 times. Against Knicks, again, blowout loss, he shot 17 times. With 17 field goal attempts, he should clear 15 plus easily, especially against the Hawks defense. So that's the part on the DeJounte Murray. Jalen Johnson, we can see that the Pelicans are great against pick and roll ball handlers, and they are doing well against the guards, but they are getting killed on the cuts and from the wings overall, and they are leaking transition and spot up. That's the like transition and spot up is like 50% of Jalen Johnson points, and he's in a good matchup here. And as we can see, he scored 15 plus points in how many? This is like in 14 straight games. Yeah, he is very consistent, scoring like between 18 and 22 points. And this is now a great matchup for him. He covered this in not so great matchup. Like he had 22 and 20 against Evan Mobley in the Cavs. Yeah, I mean, 20 against the Boston, 29 earlier against the Pelicans, which is season high. So he's got season high against the Pelicans. I can see him being great there again. Last time he had 9 rebounds against the Pelicans on 18 potential, which is even below average of his rebounding rate, and cleared the rebounding line in 12 out of the last 14. And Pelicans allow a lot of rebounds, and he had already 9 against them. So overall, a great matchup for his rebounds, for his points, and overall we are getting a great price on this. If somehow Pelicans can get at least some fourth quarter minutes for their starters.
Yes, doable, but good matchup seemingly for both players in this one. So we've got the 5-leg SGP there. Let's try to get a winner. Big SGPs did the lifting start of the season. Then it's been the straight play since then. Let's get a big SGP on the board to start the week. We'll go to the next game here. We've got the Lakers and the Timberwolves in action. It's a rematch, I believe, of the first game of the season for these two teams, if I remember correctly. But the Lakers coming to this one away from home as +8 underdogs. The Timberwolves have not been necessarily at the races this season. Only Joe Ingles on the injury report for them. few guys on the injury report for the Los Angeles Lakers here. We could see D'Angelo Russell miss this game. We could see Austin Reeves miss this game. Maybe that's the reason why we see the spread here. But over to you, Pips. What are your thoughts on this game?
This spread looks way too big when you look at the first glance, and then you remember it's a back-to-back game for the Lakers. They almost lost to the Utah Jazz last night, and they have players out while Wolves are healthy. So then you're okay, like makes sense. Usually, if both teams are healthy, it wasn't back-to-back. I'm doing this like 2.5 for the Wolves. So overall, Lakers almost lost last night to the Utah Jazz, which is insane because huge game from AD, and they got huge game for AD and LeBron. LeBron had 27 and 14, and AD scored 33 points, and they still almost lost because like Dalton Connect was 2 from 10, and the heavy minutes were put into Gabe Vincent and Max Christie. So outside of when they are missing Austin Reeves and DLO, they need to play some terrible players. Even Jalen, who's got 13 minutes in this game. Yeah,
that's the thing, right? It's not just about the guys that are injured. It's about the caliber of players that are replacing them. Like the Lakers' depth, especially at guard, is so bad.
Yeah,
Gabe Vincent
one guy.
So
one
bad,
guy got 11 minutes. Sorry, man. Just amazed by this. One guy got 11 minutes for the Lakers, and I don't know who the hell he is. Like, I have no idea who is Armel Traore, and I know almost every guy on the rosters, but I don't have no idea who is Armel Traore. He played 11 minutes last night.
I don't know. I don't know who this is either.
He is a rookie.
Undrafted, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think he was drafted. I think maybe undrafted. I don't know.
I feel like I would know if he was drafted. Undrafted, yeah. Undrafted in the most recent NBA draft. He is on a 2-way contract, so that's something.
I have when I started 11 minutes into a guy that I never heard of, and probably that's very difficult to happen in the NBA. That if it's not April stuff, for
that to happen in early December is pretty crazy because you'd expect you get to April, it's just
especially on the Lakers. If it's some Hornets guy or I don't know, if it's some Wizards and Hornets guy, okay, maybe, but on the Lakers, crazy. So if they are missing Reeves tonight, this will be a rough game. Well, especially with LeBron James is tired. I know for a fact that he is tired. And I have not questionable talks for either LeBron James or Davis, but I wouldn't be surprised if everyone is out for the Lakers. LeBron had a great game last night, but overall, last couple of weeks, last 2 weeks, he looked rough. I mean, numbers are looking okay, but he scored less than 18 or less points in 4 straight games and shooting subpar 45% in 5 straight games. I don't remember that happening ever in his career. Mm-hmm. And he looks tired. And now he's on back-to-back after 36 minutes handling everything for them last night because DLO and Reeves were out. So now I'm going to the very physical defense against the Gobert and Jaden McDaniels, and I honestly think the best thing for the Lakers is tank this one, arrest everyone, and that's it. So maybe that's why we have 8-point spread, because everyone is probably expecting them to sit.
Just take a loss.
Yeah, because heavy minutes into their best players, and they played a lot of games in the last couple of days. Last 5 days, they played 4 games. So it's this is 5th game in 7 days. So yeah.
How much do you trust the Wolves though to win this?
Yeah, that's the rough part. So I will do something, and that's I'll bet Gobert, Rudy Gobert double double in this one.
Okay. Rudy
Uh,
Gobert double-double.
yeah, it's
I'm
plus
going to
money for
check
sure.
the double-double price, and I'm going to check the 10 plus points, 10 plus rebound line just to see the difference. So plus 115 for just a double-double play. If we were to build it 10 plus rebounds and 10 plus points, which is the most likely way, of course, Rudy Gobert would get a double-double. We can get it minus 103. That just doesn't make
Yeah,
any
so
sense.
double
All right.
double is
That's why we
yeah
check. That's
yeah.
why we check. So double-double plus 115 for Rudy Gobert. Let's see, can we combine plus
Think
115?
it's a best I think it's a best price on the market, honestly.
I will double
Maybe
check. I'd
so.
be surprised if it wasn't, to be honest.
Uh, Same game
Yeah,
parlay.
this is best in market.
Yeah, I think there is one plus 110, a couple there, but this is the best price. Overall, double doubles, triple doubles, same game parlays are usually the best on the FanDuel. Like
Yes.
so, if you take a look at these numbers for Rudy Gobert, it looks absolutely rough. Right, like this doesn't look great for Rudy Gobert. He's averaging 10 points this season, but I will say he played Clippers, terrible matchup. Kings, the least points in the paint and the rim, terrible matchup. Houston Rockets, awful matchup. Boston Celtics, okay, he scored 10 points. Covered against the Raptors, against the Suns, in a difficult matchup against the Kings. I'll go through everything. So just to show, like he had some rough matchups so far this season, and the easy matchups were against the Raptors, covered in both. Against the Denver Nuggets, covered. Against the Bulls, covered. So he covered in the easy matchups and didn't cover in rough ones. First game of the season, 13 points against the Lakers. So overall, in easy matchups, he's covering. So the important part of this is Lakers are getting cooked at the five. Like everyone is going over against the line. You can see Jacob 14, Jalen Duran 11, Jacob 19, Rudy Gobert himself 13, and some other guy like Jarrett Allen 20 points, Sabonis 29. Uh, Overall, the bigs are scoring. Like last night, Valkel Kessler had, I think, like 13 or 14, 15 points, maybe even 15 points against the Lakers. And I would say Gobert is offensively probably better player, like better lob threat and putback threat than Kessler. So bigs are cooking on Lakers, and it makes sense because they allow a lot of points in the paint. They need AD to help everywhere, and on the rebounding side, Gobert this season is kind of covering decently. When he gets 30 plus minutes, he covered 10 plus in 70% of the games. Didn't cover against the Kings, terrible matchup. So, and the Hornets also terrible matchup for rebounds. They allow probably one of the least number of rebounds, and had 14 against the Lakers. If you take a look last season against the Lakers, he had 13, 13, 16. So like performing well against the AD. And on the point side, 15, 13, 18 last season. So covered double double easily in all three games last season and the first game of the season this season. So doing well against the Lakers overall and against AD. But think about the rebounds. You can see that similar type of players. Jacob 10 and 12, Jarrett Allen 17, Gobert himself 14, and all the rest of the guys average are way more above their lines against the uh, um, against the Lakers. So overall, getting plus money on this with a chance that AD sits and then he plays against Coloco. Yeah, that should be good.
Yep, there we go. We have the second official play of the day, Rudy Gobert on the double-double. Let's move into the final game on the slate here today. We've got the Brooklyn Nets against the Chicago Bulls. Not the most exciting of matchups for teams, but still opportunity to bet. Over under here is 233.5. Bulls 7.5 favorites on the spread. Anything you've got for this game, Pips?
I actually don't. I have leans,
That's
but
fine.
no official bets. Kobe White is questionable, and everyone. It's actually crazy to see the injury report for the Brooklyn Nets. The Cam Johnson
It's big.
questionable, Dorian Finney-Smith questionable, Claxton questionable, Watford questionable, out. Zaire Williams, Noah Clowney, Cam Thomas, Ben Simmons, they're on sharp. So more players have injury tag than not on the roster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and on the
don't think
other
you have enough
side you
guys
have
to. They may not have enough players.
yeah. So if everyone is out, which could be the case because they are back to back, they will have heavy minutes into Shake, Milton, Keon Johnson, Jalen Wilson, and Tyrese Martin. I don't know. So best way to approach this game is just wait, see who is out, who is playing, and then check the lines. Are they set well? Because we could get some like crazy guy on bench to have huge minutes, and then he's playing Bulls. So even it's a blowout, he needs to play, and he could have huge number against the Bulls. So
Hmm.
check out this later. I can bet Kobe White. Kobe White would be my probably bet in this one. I'll show you guys quickly this one for Kobe White when he's playing 28 plus minutes against teams outside of top I would say 9 defensively rating. I would say top 8 on top 10. He covered this in 11 out of the 13 with 22.1 points average. And this matchup is decent. They allow average spot up and terrible transition defense, and that's where he scored 50% of his points. Similar players like Mikhail Bridges over in both games. So good matchup overall. Yeah, we can see that against below average defense, he averaged 22.1. When you look at the games when he played top 8 defensive teams, he averaged 13.3. That's like 9.9 point swing in favors of unders. So huge correlation with how poor defense he is playing. So I like this matchup for Kobe White. But as I said, like if everyone is out, if we have Cam Johnson and Claxton out for the Nets, even Bulls could blow them out easily. So
For sure.
yeah, this is no play for overs.
No problem. We can end it there, and we can move on to some of the questions from the chat today. That was all for games, 2 official picks. Let's see what we've got in the chat. You got any questions regarding bets today? Any questions regarding anything betting related, bass related? Let us know in the chat. We can get to them. We'll do a few of them here because I do have to get to the office after this, but we'll start with some topical ones here. We have Michael asked specifically, what players are you looking for, like to bet on if players are announced in, out for this Brooklyn Nets team? It's kind of a loaded question here, but Michael also asked, what numbers are you looking? What's going to be fair? You can't really go. I don't think you can really go through specifically what the numbers have to be. I would say to lead off here, it's as players are announced in and out, you're more likely to find off-market prices. So if you shop around, you can find some off-market numbers there. But Pips, is there anybody in particular you would be looking at to have a good or bad game, depending on how injury news reacts today?
Uh, I can like say like the matchup I like for guys numbers are I can say I like, for example, Sam Hauser for the Boston if Derek White is out, and then they can set his line at 13 and a half, and that's a no-go. Or they can set it at 11 and a half, and I like the over, or over on threes, 2.5, like crazy stuff. Like it depends on where they set the line. You're always betting the line. It can be a perfect matchup, but if the line is too high, you can do much. It can be disastrous matchup. Like last night, Fred VanVleet, 15.5 points against the Thunder. It's a terrible matchup, very difficult matchup for Fred VanVleet. But 15.5 is crazy low line for a guy that has the ball like for 40 minutes in a game. And he ended up scoring almost 40 points. That's
Yeah.
not a great example. But for example, Şengün had 19.5. Terrible matchup, difficult matchup against the Thunder. But 19.5 was like, I was still in, I bet the under. But later when I rewatched the game, he had so many touches that even in a difficult matchup, he finds some spot to score. So we are betting some lines are very very well adjusted for the matchup, and you can do much with them. So yeah,
A lot of
uh,
variables to
yeah.
consider, which makes it
So
difficult for an
I'll
answer.
just go through the specific one, which is Nets. Uh, I think Jalen Wilson could have a good game against the Bulls. Schroeder assist wise should kill against the Bulls because it's Cam Thomas is out, Ben Simmons is out. I'll just look at some numbers. I have some data that I look for that in that case. Give me just a minute. Like when Cam Thomas is not playing and Ben Simmons is not playing, Schroeder assist per 36 move from 6.7 to 9.3. So he averaged 2.5 assists more per 36 minutes when he's not sharing the court with Cam Thomas or Ben Simmons. And I think his line is set at 7.5. And per 36, he averaged 9.3. And now gets the best matchup. So we can expect maybe even like average go to 10. And he has 7.5 line. I lean heavily over onto this. But as I said, blowout chance. And who is going to score if every scorer is out? He can have like ball as much as he wants if he doesn't have a guy to make the shot. So rough one.
Right. A lot of variables to go through. As I said, we'll go to the next question here from Frankie Rodriguez, who asked about Vucevic, 2+ threes made at plus 103.
Nope. It's not that I don't think that he can score, but matchup wise, nah, this is not a good matchup. I can show you. Like it's very easy to show. They switch for defense, and we can see that above the break threes, they allow only they are 8 in points allowed, so they are above average there. And uh, Jordi Fernandez, he's playing mad game, and he's not allowing spot up threes, and he's not allowing threes at all. So as you can see, okay, Nets allow fourth least threes in the entire league. They switch. Vucevic is only scoring like when he's wide open on like pick and roll when they play drop coverage or something. But if they switch on him, he can get his shots up. So maybe some in transition after some mistakes, but I like let's see when he gets 5 or less threes, four or less.
Mm-hmm.
He's not covering this for minus 120 or minus 110. So I expect the volume to be lower. Earlier this season, he made 3 threes against the Nets on 4 attempts. So attempts were right where I expect him to be, like between 3 and 5. I don't like betting the over when I expect 3 to 5 attempts for three. So he needs to be perfect or above average. So he needs to shoot 50% or better for this to cover. And yeah, that's math, not mathing in this one. Yeah.
Makes sense there. We have one from Snoopy Wagers saying they've got plus 7,500 on a DeJounte Murray triple-double tonight. That's, for me,
Plus,
good price. Not widely available.
I didn't hear the price. Sorry, I didn't check
Plus
this one.
7,500 on DeJounte
Yeah,
Murray triple-double.
yeah, that's a possibility.
That's a
Yeah,
good price.
yeah.
Very good price if
I
you
don't know.
got that.
Like, let me just check something quickly. I'll do like so 20 plus for the Jonte points, 8 plus rebounds, and 8 plus assists is plus 750. I think that's also a good look. Like 20 points, 8 rebounds, and assists. Like I will probably bet like zero point 0.01 unit probably on triple double and 0.02 units on 20 plus 8 plus 8 plus, for example, like scale.
Right.
Because I
So,
think 20 to 8 and 8 is way better chance than plus 750 for
right.
this to happen. Yeah.
Right. Some good leans there again for Murray. Let's go to another one here. Fries asked about Nas Reed over 10.5. That's probably points at minus 120.
Yeah. Points. I didn't see his lines actually. Maybe
10.5 minus 120 is best in market. There's FanDuel has 11.5 minus 104 right now.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one because
I guess
I
same
know
sort of
why
properties apply.
I know why this line set this way. I'll show you guys. Like he killed this line in first 14 games of the season. He covered this in 12 out of the first 14. Then stinker game against the Raptors, he shot one from 8. Difficult matchup against the Boston where he scored 5 points and 2 from 9. Kills against the Rockets. I watched the entire game, played absolutely amazing. So it's not he's in terrible form. Then shot poorly against the Kings. They did well on defense. And then terrible matchup against the Clippers. And he still was 1-3 away from covering, and he was 1 from 6 from 3. So a regression kind of happened, and now he gets a good matchup. I lean over on 10.5 against the Lakers. Just poor transition defense, not great. Pick and roll defense, terrible. Putback defense, spot up overall off the screens. Like overall, especially if like AD is out, like this defense is terrible, and Nasri should cook. So interesting look. I like the over.
There you go. A lean towards the over on Naz Reid. 2 more here, and then we'll have to wrap it up for the day. Staying on the same game here, Nicholas Jepson asked about Anthony Davis over 11.5 boards. Minus 130 is the price, and that is the best in market. Yes.
Don't know about this one. That's just heavy juice for the over on rebounds. I don't like betting heavy juice on rebounds.
You don't like
So
betting rebounds at all,
yeah.
usually.
25 plus 10 plus could probably be better. I don't know what's the price on this. I'll check quickly. Because if he's playing big minutes, he'll score points and he'll get rebounds, but I don't know how many. But overall, yeah, 25 plus and 10 plus rebounds is minus 118. I actually don't like that price, so nothing from me there.
No
But I do
worries.
like the matchup for AD. Earlier this season, first game of the season, he got 36 and 16. Last season against the Gobert, 31, 33, 27, and averaged tons of rebounds, 16.7. So 25 plus, 10 plus for this price is actually probably a good bet. They play single coverage with Gobert against him, so as we saw in the season opener. Let me just check one thing for AD on back-to-backs. He played reasonable, but struggled against the Spurs. Overall, I would say 25 plus 10 plus is something I like more than going like heavy juice on rebounds alone.
All right, final question here. On the same game, Philip NBA asked about, so you mentioned LeBron might be tired here. Under 23.5 points or under 40.5 PRA, minus 115. Is it low enough you'd consider betting, or high enough you'd consider betting a LeBron under today?
At 23.5 and 40.5, I would like Reeves to be in to bet assist under. But I like the points under probably way more than points, rebounds, and assists. So under 23.5 points should be good. Let me just check the back-to-back numbers for him this season. On back-to-backs, 32, 21, and 16. The 32 came early into the season. Last 2 back-to-backs kind of struggled. So I lean under points, 23.5.
All right, there you go. Those are the questions for today. And that'll wrap up the show. So, not a lot of games, some big spreads, lots of players questionable, but nonetheless, Pip found 2 spots that he very much likes for today. We'll pull them up here for the official picks recap in just a moment. Before we do, a final reminder to hit that like button if you enjoyed the show today. It really does make a difference to the channel when you hit that like button, help find us some new viewers, and make sure you subscribe to the Board YouTube channel for content here every weekday morning, so long as there are NBA games to discuss. The official picks for today, we have DeJounte Murray, 15-plus points, 6-plus assists, and 6-plus rebounds, alongside Jalen Johnson, 15-plus points and 6-plus rebounds. We got that for plus 300 at FanDuel. Our second bet was Rudy Gobert double-double, plus 115 at FanDuel, and that will do it for today. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into the show. Me and Pips will be back here tomorrow. I'm assuming we'll have a bigger slate. Yes, big slate to work with tomorrow. Don't miss out. Return here, same time, same place tomorrow for more pick and roll on the Board YouTube channel presented by FanDuel.